Why your brain wants you to stay poor and how to escape it. Have you ever wondered why earning more money doesn't always make life feel easier? Why do so many people receive raises, switch to better paying jobs, and still find themselves checking their bank account a few days before payday? It's easy to blame inflation, or expensive cities, or low wages. And while those things absolutely matter, there's another force quietly working in the background. A force that isn't found in your paycheck. It isn't hiding in your rent, and it isn't something your bank is doing. It's inside your own brain, because the human brain wasn't designed to build wealth. It was designed to keep you comfortable. And comfort often looks surprisingly expensive. Imagine someone named Daniel. He's 29 years old and lives in Chicago. He has what most people would call a decent life. After taxes, he brings home around $4,700 every month. His apartment costs $1,700. His car payment is $420. Insurance,
He told me it was
gas,
closing down.
and maintenance add another $300.
No way. We were just there last
Student loan
week.
payments take another $350.
I know, it's a complete shocker.
Utilities, groceries, phone bills, and subscriptions add roughly $900. By the time everything is paid, Daniel has around $1,000 left. That sounds manageable until real life begins. Friends invite him out every weekend. A coworker upgrades to the newest smartphone. His social media feed is filled with vacations, restaurants, designer clothes, and perfectly decorated apartments. Without really thinking about it, Daniel starts spending. Not because he's irresponsible, because he wants to feel normal. A dinner here, a concert there, a few online purchases after a stressful week, a weekend trip charged to a credit card. Nothing seems outrageous, but month after month, that remaining $1,000 quietly disappears. His salary isn't small, yet somehow financial freedom always feels one paycheck away. If this story feels familiar, you're not alone. Most people think poverty begins with low income, but financial stagnation often begins with invisible decisions. The decisions that feel harmless because everyone around us is making them. Modern life is built around spending. Companies don't wait for you to need something. They convince you that you already do. Your phone reminds you about sales. Streaming platforms recommend new subscriptions. Credit cards remove the pain of paying. Financing turns expensive purchases into small monthly payments. Instead of asking, "Can I actually afford this?" the question quietly becomes, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" That tiny shift changes everything, because your financial life slowly becomes a collection of monthly obligations instead of intentional choices. Let's keep the math simple. Suppose Daniel spends just $12 a day on things he doesn't really think about. Coffee, food delivery, impulse purchases, convenience. That's about $360 every month, or roughly $4,300 every year. Now imagine that money wasn't spent. Instead, it was invested. Not in anything complicated, just a broad investment fund averaging around 8% annually over many years. After 20 years, those small daily decisions could grow into well over $200,000. Not because Daniel suddenly became rich, but because time quietly multiplied ordinary choices. That's the strange thing about money. Big financial outcomes rarely come from one dramatic decision. They usually come from thousands of invisible ones. So why doesn't our brain naturally make these better choices? Because our brain evolved to solve immediate problems, not problems 20 years away. If our ancestors found food, they ate it. If they found safety, they stayed there. If the tribe accepted them, they survived. That wiring still exists today. Only now, instead of worrying about survival in nature, we're worrying about social acceptance. A new car doesn't simply feel like transportation. It feels like progress. A luxury apartment doesn't just feel comfortable. It feels like success. Buying expensive things often creates something psychologists call social proof. We look around. We copy what everyone else is doing, not because we consciously want to impress people, but because fitting in feels safe, and the brain loves safety, even when safety quietly becomes financial risk. Social media makes this even harder. We don't compare ourselves to our neighbors anymore. We compare ourselves to thousands of carefully edited lives every single day. Someone buys a house. Someone gets engaged. Someone posts business class flights. Someone shows their luxury kitchen renovation. We rarely see the debt behind those pictures, or the financial anxiety, or the second job, or the credit card balances. We compare our everyday reality to everyone else's highlight reel, and our brain concludes, I'm falling behind. That feeling creates emotional spending, not because we need more things, because we're trying to reduce uncomfortable emotions. Unfortunately, the relief usually lasts only a few hours. The monthly payment lasts much longer. Over time, this creates something even more dangerous. Lifestyle dependence. Every raise becomes another opportunity to increase expenses, a bigger apartment, a nicer car, more subscriptions, more expensive vacations, better restaurants. Nothing seems unreasonable by itself, but together, they quietly erase the financial benefit of earning more. This is why some people earning $60,000 feel financially stable, while others earning $150,000 still feel trapped. Income matters, but spending habits often determine whether higher income creates freedom or simply supports a more expensive lifestyle. Years pass surprisingly quickly. The consequences aren't dramatic, they're subtle. Savings grow slowly. Retirement accounts remain underfunded. Unexpected emergencies become stressful. Career choices become limited. Leaving a toxic job feels impossible because monthly obligations have become too large. Financial freedom isn't delayed by one expensive purchase. It's delayed by years of unconscious habits. The biggest cost isn't always money, it's flexibility. The freedom to choose, the freedom to say no, the freedom to take opportunities without worrying about next month's bills. So how do financially intelligent people often think differently? Interestingly, they don't necessarily earn more. They simply define success differently. They understand that visible wealth and actual wealth are rarely the same thing. Visible wealth is easy to notice. Luxury cars, designer clothing, large houses, expensive vacations. Actual wealth is much quieter. Investments, emergency savings, low debt, financial flexibility, peace of mind. One is designed to be seen. The other is designed to create options. Financially thoughtful people often ask a different question before spending. Instead of asking, can I buy this? They quietly ask, what future choice am I giving up if I buy this today? That single question changes spending from emotional to intentional. And over time, intentional decisions quietly become financial independence. The truth is, your brain isn't trying to keep you poor. It's trying to keep you comfortable. It's trying to help you belong. It's trying to avoid discomfort today. The problem is that comfort today can quietly become limitation tomorrow. Escaping that cycle doesn't require perfection, it doesn't require becoming obsessed with money, and it certainly doesn't require giving up everything you enjoy. It simply begins with awareness. Because once you recognize how your brain naturally works, you stop assuming every financial impulse deserves to become a financial decision. And that small shift, repeated over months and years, can completely change the direction of your financial future. If you enjoyed this video and want more calm, thoughtful conversations about money and financial psychology, consider subscribing to the channel.